Hello. I finally fucking found it. It's been bothering me for a very long time. The source of my feelings of inadequacy, failure, inability. Traveling through life like someone who's caged and bound by some unseen chain link fence. First I thought it was religion, but I gave up religion. Then I thought it was society. Then I thought it was money. Then I thought it was this thing or that thing. It was all of it. I just watched a movie where I felt so fucking excited, like an absolute retard. I was giggling through about half of it. I felt fucking alive. I felt completely free of any sense of propriety or social stigma. I felt drunk, but I was sober. I felt high, yet I was drug free. I felt no weight at all. I was fucking free for an hour and a half. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt like a kid again. I felt like I was 15 years old. It was the first time in a long ass time I'd been without a sense of guilt or perverse duty. I had returned to zero for the first time in my life. What had changed? Not a goddamn thing. I was in a state of absolute bliss. But nothing had changed. I was me, myself, and I. I'd reached the pinnacle of humanness, slipped the surly bonds of Earth, and made my own giant leap into the empty black hole of space. Now, surrounded by distant galaxies and nearby stars, I was my own god and my own worthless peasant. Needs meant nothing. Wants were a mystery. I was in my own white room. I had finally returned to zero. To zero. What happens when we grow up? What fucking happens? We're born with a hole in our heads. First we clip on a D-ring. Then we weld on a chain link. As we grow, we add more and more chain links until we're finally weighed down. Finally, we marry a woman. The bonds of matrimony are fixed for life. What are these chains we bind ourselves with? They're fears and hopes and dreams. We can't fail now. They're expectations. They're definitions we adopt given to us by others. They're bills, responsibilities, and needs for consistency. We grow older and attach absolute boundaries to our minds. We can no longer cross those bounds. We might get laughed at. We might get turned down for a job. We might lose the mortgage. We might, oh my God, we might get a bad outcome. Failure is not an option. Fuck yeah, it is. Failure is always an option. What's all this talk about falling off the horse? What's all this talk about 1,000 failures being 1,000 steps to the first success? What's all this talk about the journey being worth the cost of admission to the winner's circle? It's childhood. God damn it. When you were alone, working on something as a young man, without anyone's input, without any outside judgment, how did you feel about failure? Fuck failure, you said to yourself. You were excited to see the outcome, because you hadn't already decided that failure was an inevitability. That failure was not an option. To your 15-year-old self, failure wasn't even a consideration. Okay, maybe some of us have to go back further than that. 8 years old then. 5 fucking years old then. One day in your past, I know, you remember what it was like to be in the mindset of the free man. You played and experimented. See what happens. Sure, you probably broke an arm after yelling, "Hey mom, check this out." Sure, you probably ended up in the hospital swearing you'd never drink anything under the sink ever again. But fuck, remember who you were that day. That's the key to this whole goddamn problem. It's not the stupid shit we did. It's why we did that shit. We did that shit because we were curious. We wanted to know. That was the stuff of life, man. But now we have chain link after chain link after link after link after link. We carry that shit around. We have self-imposed inhibitions that we have decided to weld onto that chain. These chains don't exist anywhere but in our minds. What's the great equalizer? Death, of course. We all die. We all return to zero. On the journey to the coffin, we drag the chains with us all the way into the box. They nail the lid on, and there we are. Not with our money, our success, our failures, but with our mental chains we locked onto ourselves. Why do we lock the chains on the hole in our heads? Fear. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of the unknown, fear of a lie, fear of a rumor, fear of stigma, fear of God or the devil or the fucktard in the next cubicle with the mullet we let live rent-free in our minds. Fear of living without regret can be its own fucking chain. I finally got it. What happened to facing fear anyway? Safety first, right? The whole world is whitewashed, or brown or blackwashed if you're overly sensitive about race. It's whitewashed in this veneer of the need for safety. Oh my God, I might get a bruise. Fuck your bruise. I'm gonna cut myself until I bleed. Then I realize, in pain, holding pressure on the wound, it just ain't that fucking bad. And I have a scar to show for it. That is how I thought about failure when I was 15. Now? Now I'm hiding that scar because someone might call me stupid for being so irresponsible? What the hell happened to me? I found a new life today. I'm 33 years old and not a day over 15. Fuck fear, fuck inhibitions, fuck failure, and fuck guilt. Thanks for listening.